Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Breeze, come back at you with a new NBA 2K16 video. Today, guys, I'm going to be bringing you my NBA 2K17 Pro-Am wish list. So, jumping right into it, as you guys are going to see right here, table of contents. I'm going to have the timestamps for all of these parts in the description, so if you want to skip right ahead to a specific part, just go in the description. You'll be able to skip right ahead to whatever part you want. So jumping right into part one, we're going to be talking about Private Pro-Am. Private Pro-Am, I'm already like 95% sure it's going to be in the game, but just in case, I'm going to be talking about why we need it in 2K. I'm going to be giving my wish list on some features I want to see within the mode. So Private Pro-Am, of course, it's going to advance the world of 2K esports. It's going to make it so that way, competitive teams can go up against each other a lot easier. It's going to allow for third-party sites, such as Game Battles and UMG, to have ladders on those sites, so that way, you're always playing high-level competition. It's also going to have tournaments on those sites, so that way, you're constantly playing tournaments for money, playing a very high level of competition all the time. And then, of course, it just gives teams the opportunity to lab, practice, and get better versus higher competition pretty much all the time. So Private Pro-Am, of course, is very key, and we really need it in 2K17. Now, getting into my Private Pro-Am wish list, these are the things I want to see in Private Pro-Am. So the hosting team, I want to see the hosting team, of course, get home court. So that way it's just easier for, teams to choose who gets home and who gets away. Just whoever hosts gets home court. I want teams to be able to choose their jerseys before the game, just in case, teams have conflicting jerseys. Now, Private Pro-Am, I want to be a dedicated mode. So pretty much when the host of the My Court selects Private Pro-Am, it's going to load him in to the Pro-Am arena. And then that's basically going to act as the My Court. You then invite, the other players from there. You can invite people, shoot around, just do all the regular stuff that you normally do in the My Court, but in the Pro-Am arena. Now, in Private Pro-Am, I don't want there to be any CPUs, and I want you to be able to start at 4v4 or 5v5. Now, I understand if they don't want you to be able to play 4v4, but if they do allow you to play 4v4, please, no CPUs, users only in Private Pro-Am. Now, of course, with Private Pro-Am, real money is going to be on the line all the time, whether it be through like a Game Battles tournament or whether it be, just between the two teams behind the scenes. But, let's just make it interesting within the game. Let's have a VC wager system, allow players to wager up to 100,000 VC each, so that way, the pot will be up to 1 million VC. I feel like that would be pretty interesting. And it would definitely be a way to add some more fuel to the fire before the match starts up. Now, during the shoot-around, when you're in the Prime Arena, I want teammates to be able to pick up their boys' assigned ball and pass it, or oop to them, so that way they can get their teammates going in the catch and shoot game. And of course, if a player drops during the game, instead of the player having to spectate, I want him to be able to actually rejoin and take control over his CPU, so that way we don't really have too many drop issues with Private Pro-Am. Now, let's get into the next topic, which is rep in Pro-Am. Yes, rep in Pro-Am, guys. Now, the reason why we need rep in Pro-Am, and I'm not a park player, but this is something that I'm pretty passionate about, because what this is going to do is it's going to combine the park and Pro-Am communities, and it's going to get more players into Pro-Am. Now, of course, we're going to have the park affiliation boost turned off in Pro-Am, and then with both communities combined, this will drive more hype towards esports. More teams are going to be playing Pro-Am, so more people are going to be hyped to be involved in Road to the Finals or whatever they end up calling it next year. Now, my park players want a rec center with full 5v5 games that earn you rep. This will substitute that, and we can just rename my park rep to my player rep. And then players will no longer have to sacrifice not earning rep to play Pro-Am. Now, obviously, that is a major key. And of course, let's get into my rep in Pro-Am wish list. More rep for Pro-Am games. Reward players heavily for playing Pro-Am. So, of course, just like the Rec Center last year, just give people more rep for playing Pro-Am than they would in the park. That's a gimme. Now, what they need to do is they need to give more rep for team Pro-Am games. Still give good rep for walk-on games, of course, better than park games, but give even more rep for team Pro-Am games. And now this doesn't really have anything to do with rep and Pro-Am, but in my opinion, walk-ons should be for randoms only. Don't let full teams search for walk-on games. It's just, doesn't really make sense. Walk-on search size, at max should be 2 players. You shouldn't really be able to search with more than 2 players, 4 walk-on games. Now, what I want them to do as well is give rep rewards, such as consecutive wins and teammates. So, if you're playing with the same team all day long, you're winning. You should be getting more and more rep as you keep playing with that team and winning. Win streaks in general should get you more rep. Multiple games averaging like a double-double, maybe multiple games with like 4+ blocks, just little things like that should give you more rep. With that being said, in-game accolades should give you rep as well. Just small amounts of rep, but, that's why they need to be more transparent in the rep they're giving you, tell you exactly how much rep you're getting, like plus 25 rep, plus 100 rep, whatever. Because I know that there is a number algorithm that they use for the rep. They just don't show you the numbers. Next year, they need to be more transparent, show you the numbers, and then, just give you more ways to earn rep within these Pro-Am games. That way, you don't have to play 10,000 games to get your Legend 5, and, you can actually, work towards in-game statistics to get you more rep. Now, let's jump into Pro-Am gameplay and talk about the changes I want to see with the Pro-Am gameplay. So, on my gameplay wish list, the first thing I want to see is less bailout, fouls, blocking fouls, all that. We're going to be breaking down these fouls, guys, and we're just going to be talking about them. Just look at these fouls. They must be stopped, guys. These blocking fouls and these bailout shooting fouls. Now, let's talk about the blocking fouls a little bit first. Just look. This guy, he's getting the ball. He's running into a crowd of 3 defenders. And what's the game going to do? It's going to allow him to just run over some dude in the charge circle recklessly, and yet we get the foul called on us. Right here, I go to tip a pass. I do tip the pass, and as I'm going to recover the ball, boom! I just get ran over, and of course, the call is on me. Now, those calls happen all game long, so I'm not really going to be talking about those too much. I'm going to be talking more about the bailout shooting fouls, but 2K, please tone down the blocking fouls. Now, these are the fouls that we're going to be talking about more, these shooting fouls.
There's nothing that tells you how to properly steal basketball. Just play D.
OG has to say to, prevent
2 shots bouncing out, but look, he's going to get the pump fake and the foul. A lot of guys like to, try to jump and block everything. And
stay down, right stick up. Right stick up, your hands will be up, contain, make them shoot over 2.
That's right, guys. So apparently put your right stick up, all your problems are solved. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not really the case. So as you can see right here, 2K, please tweak the tip passes. Give us better and more higher IQ tipping pass animations. And if we do tip it, give us the ball, because the ball is in his hand right there. He doesn't get the tip. But regardless of that, as you can see, he's just chucking it down into the paint. No real IQ behind going up for that shot. And Flawless is going to throw him to the ground. He's just going to throw him to the ground with no regard. And, of course, he's going to get the foul call. Now, right here, this needs to be toned down so much. So when he hop steps in the paint, it gives him that auto pump fake. I'm telling you right now, Flawless is not jumping right here. He's not holding LT. He's not putting his right stick up. He's not hitting anything. The game forces him to jump, and of course, he gets the foul call. So please get rid of those auto jump animations. Sometimes when they pump fake, it forces your guy to jump and you get foul calls. Now, let's talk about what Flawless does on defense. He doesn't put his right stick up because when he used to, he'd get a lot of foul calls. He doesn't vertical jump because he gets a lot of foul calls. He doesn't jump anymore because he gets a lot of foul calls. And he doesn't hold LT anymore because he used to get a lot of foul calls doing that. So what is he resorted to doing? Literally pressing nothing. And as you can see right here, the game is forcing him to jump still. Look, the guy starts his pump fake animation right here. Watch how Flawless just shoots around in a circle, just magnets him onto him. It sucks him right onto him and forces him to jump. That's complete suction BS. And that needs to be taken out of the game because, I had that in super slow motion and you saw how quick he turned around. Now, again, just bad pass tipping animation. Look at this. He's going to tip the pass. Why is he jumping straight up? The ball magnets into his hand, and then we get a foul call. This is kind of BS. But anyways, so Flawless, again, he has his auto shot contest on manual. He doesn't jump anymore. The right stick up used to get him a lot of foul calls. He doesn't hold LT anymore. He pretty much just tries to stay in front of the defender. And look, the game is just forcing him to throw people on the ground still left and right. It doesn't matter what he does. So he does alternate still between putting the right stick up. He does sometimes hold LT. He switches it up, but regardless, at the end of the day, the game is forcing him to throw people on the ground left and right. And that's why in 2K17, we need the option and the ability to have more control on defense around the rim. If we want to play conservative defense, put our hands up, not commit a foul, just play straight up defense. We should be able to do that. We shouldn't be forced to throw people on the ground because half of these fouls are unrealistic. I mean, look, the game fouls him out right there because the other team is just chucking the ball in the paint and just hitting X and hoping for the best. So with that being said, tone down the bailout fouls. Put more realistic defensive animations in the game and take out all these bailout throw in the ground animations because they really ruin Pro-Am and they really help out these bum teams a lot because that's pretty much the only way bum teams score versus us. Now, in my Pro-Am gameplay wish list right here, what I want them to do is give us the option to manually switch our defense in-game to a 2-3 or 3-2 zone. Now, what this will do is it will tone down the fouls because the game will know who you're trying to guard at all times instead of trying to magnet you onto someone man-to-man. So it'll help you, play in better position within your zone. Now, I know this one is kind of controversial with 2K, but please just raise the off-the-dribble shooting percentages a little bit, man. I mean, it's so bad. You can't shoot off the dribble really at all in 2K. And give us some step over animations with the spot up as well. If we catch and want to just take a quick step over, kind of like what Klay Thompson does, please give us some type of animation with that as well. But regardless, off the dribble shots when wide open should not be lower than a B+. I mean, that's just way too low if you're getting lower than a B+ for wide open off the dribble and you have a very high moving shot rating. Now, leaners, fades, drifters are also useless. Please make those relevant again. If you're wide open, within the 15-foot range, in the mid-range area, you're wide open. Sometimes a leaner or a fade or a drifter or even a floater is the best option, and a lot of times they're just not good enough, even with the shot creator badge. The 2K took out of the game that they desperately need to put back in is the post stripping. The post stripping is literally gone after patch 1 of 2K16. I mean, bigs are literally invulnerable in the post almost. You can go down there, spam X from behind. You'll never get a reach in. You'll never get any foul, but they just won't lose the ball. The post is just way too OP when it comes to ball security for no reason. And, this makes it so that way stretch 4 teams are at a severe disadvantage because if you're stretching 4 or 5 and they start backing a little guy down in the post, you should be able to swarm him and rip at the ball. If he doesn't pass out, that's his own fault. You should be able to strip the ball from him, get that rock, take it back up the floor. And, one of the reasons why they toned down post stripping probably is because the closeout times are too quick. You can go down there, strip at the ball, and then run back out to the three-point line and close back out on your guy in time because the closeout times are too quick in the Pro-Am. Now, with that being said, give us more control on defense around the rim, of course, as I already talked about before. If we don't want to foul, we shouldn't have to foul. If we want to play conservative defense, that should be an option. If we just want to put our hands straight up and play conservative, force contact with no foul, that should be an option. Give us more control around the rim with that right stick up. Make it so that we were playing conservative defense and we're not throwing guys on the ground. Now, next part of my Pro-Am wish list, please tweak the vicinity shooting percentages. Defenders coming from the side or the back should not affect the shot as much as they do. And that's 100% true. Whether it's off the dribble or spotting up, players coming from behind you should not affect your shot as much as they do at all. It's kind of ridiculous. And even coming from the side, if you're a dead-eye shooter, I mean, think of like Klay Thompson, he's just a basic spot-up shooter at times, right? But what doesn't make him so basic is how he's not affected by the guys coming from his side. A lot of times he'll catch it. If he's already got the look at the basket, he's going to pull it. And that's because he's a dead-eye shooter. If you got that dead-eye badge, you got guys coming from the side, the vicinity shooting shouldn't play as much of a factor as it already does. I'm not asking for shots to go in like they do in the park. Definitely not. Jump shots should not be that crazy in the Pro-Am, but I would just like to see the percentages raised a little bit more for different scenarios. Now, please add more matchup-based animations such as layups and dunks for taller players matched up with smaller players around the rim. So, I mean, you guys improved on this a lot this year, but it does need more improving. When bigs get the ball around the rim or taller guards, say I'm 6'7", I'm matched up with someone that's 6 foot flat, 5'11", there's no way that they should force me into some type of contact animation that would force me to miss around the rim, especially if I have a very high inside rating and a maxed out strength. With those ratings combined, I should be bullying him around the rim, just laying it in with ease, and that goes for bigs as well. If you got like a half-foot advantage, just give those types of players with high strength, high finishing on the rim, with like a half-foot advantage, just better and more, bullying type animations around the rim. So that way, they can really just bully these smaller guys around the rim and really take advantage of that size mismatch and really take advantage of their skills around the rim. Now, another thing that needs to be done, not much to say on this, but just tweak the alley-oop percentages. They're just so bad. I mean, even if the point guard has the alley-oop passer and then the other guy has Lob City finisher, you're still missing way too many oops. If there's one guy within the vicinity of the oop, you're most likely just going to botch it every single time. It's kind of hilarious how many times you do botch it. Just please tweak the alley-oop percentages. They really need to be better than they are. Not OP, but just better. And then just lower the lateral quickness on defense. The closes are too quick. For example, you can run all the way down to the guy posting up, try stripping at him, and then by the time he passes it back up to the wing or whatever, to throw to that guy who's wide open, you can already run all the way back up there and close out. You can really play two guys at once. Please just tone down the lateral quickness on defense in the Pro-Am just a little bit. Now, let's talk about Pro-Am team management. What I want you guys to do is bring back the 2K11 style of team management, but better. Allow us to invite players to our team like we used to be able to, but now I want to be able to see their Pro-Am player card. Now, a Pro-Am player card, I want it to consist of like their game highs, kind of like what you see on your NBA player card, but for Pro-Am. I want to see their points per game, assists per game, steals per game, rebounds, blocks, all that stuff. And instead of showing the seasons, for which these players played, since we're not going to have seasons, instead of that, show the teams that they've played for and show the stats that they had on those teams. And then, of course, within their player card, allow us to see their attributes, their badges, let us see all that. Now, on top of that, and again, I feel like all this stuff within this wish list is very doable and realistic. But on top of that, I want to see a free agent leaderboard. So any player that's not currently on a roster for a team but has played Pro-Am will be put on this leaderboard, and it's pretty much going to be like the league leaders but for free agents. So you're going to be able to see the best free agents out there. You're going to be able to see their player card. You're going to be able to see all the recent teams they played for, their game highs, all their stats, and you'll be able to send them a team invite if you feel like they'll fit on your team well. You'll be able to see their badges, attributes, all that as well. And then team leaders should be able to set player roles. So, for example, kind of like on game battles, how you can set someone to a co-leader, and then that person can not only invite players to your team and search for matches, it'll be like that as well. So if your team leader's not on, but your co-leader's on, that player can invite people to the team and search for games. So that's pretty key. Please add that in the game. Now, more on Pro-Am team management. Give us jersey slots, allow us to save multiple jerseys that we can easily switch out. And this will just make it so that way we can have multiple sets of uniforms without having to lose any of our past uniforms. So if we want to have different uniforms for different days or different occasions or whatever the case may be, we can switch them out pretty much at any time. Now, please activate the scoring summary replays for Pro-Am. Please, this is one of the things I actually want the most. I mean, this would be so dope because in regular games, you used to be able to go to the score summary and see the replay of any score throughout the game. Please bring this back. It's really good for content creators. It's really good for YouTubers. We'll be able to go around in the replay for pretty much any score that happened throughout the game, and we'll be able to capture different angles. And it'd be really nice for highlight videos and, just videos in general. Adding on to that, please keep Streamcast in the game more as a spectator feature, but allow teams to have it turned on or off. Now, of course, during Road to the Finals, it's going to be on for every team. It's not really going to be an option, but throughout the year for just regular Pro-Am games, allow teams to have it on as an option, and then place players watching the game in courtside seats, replacing NPCs. And then, obviously for bigger YouTubers, they're going to have more people watching. So it's going to fill up that whole floor area with my players. That would be pretty dope. And then just fix the league leaders leaderboard, please. Show the true top players. Keep it updated automatically. Allow us to view the Prime player cards of players on the leaderboard. And just fix it. Just fix the league leaders leaderboard. It's a really dope idea. I want to be able to see the actual top players up there, not these players that played one game and got good stats. So please fix that league leaders leaderboard, and thank you for watching. If you guys made it to the end of the video, or the 2K devs, thank you for watching. Please take these ideas seriously If you guys made it to the end of the video, tweet the 2K devs, tweet LD2K, tweet 2K, tweet Mike Wang, tweet all of them, show them this video. I have a few more wish lists coming, such as a full gameplay wish list, a My Player, and a My Park wish list. And of course, I'm going to be dropping, just a general gameplay wish list as well. So thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for watching. This has been your boy Breeze. I'm signing out. Peace.